G'day, you lot! So, have you heard the buzz about Wild Reverence? It's this new romantasy book that's not even out yet, but it's everywhere. Seriously. So I figured, let's do a spoiler-free breakdown and figure out what all the hype is actually about.
Okay, so get this for a premise. We're talking about a goddess, a mortal guy, and a death sentence. But here's the kicker. She's the one who has to deliver his death sentence. And to make it even more complicated, she's been dreaming about him her entire life. I mean, talk about a high-stakes setup, right? That's the core conflict we're diving into.
So you gotta be asking, right? How does a book that isn't even released yet get this much attention? Well, the hype is absolutely real, and trust me, the numbers backing it up are kinda staggering. Let's dig into what's fueling this whole fire.
Okay, first off, let's talk about the author, Rebecca Ross. She's not exactly a newcomer. She's coming off this smash hit duology that sold over 1 million copies. 1 million! When you have that kind of success, you've got a built-in fan base just waiting for your next move. And, the expectations are through the roof. And it's not just past success. The pre-release numbers for this book are honestly just off the charts. We're already seeing a 4.2 rating on Goodreads from over 500 people who got early copies. It's blown up on Book Talk, of course, and it's pretty much everyone's #1 most anticipated release. The energy around this is, well, it's electric.
Okay, so the hype is legit. We get it. But hype is one thing. What's the story actually about? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the plot. And don't worry, I promise, this is all completely spoiler-free. So, the story is told from two perspectives, which is always cool. We have Matilda, who's our goddess born in the Underrealm, and then there's Vincent, the mortal guy. The first part, the first 10 chapters or so, is all set up. She's a messenger, zipping between realms, and he's this lord who's been having dreams about her since he was a kid. Then, bam! We hit the second act. This is where things get crazy. Matilda gets her mission, deliver a death sentence to Vincent. This kicks off this desperate, frantic race across different realms, all while this slow-burn romance is just simmering under the surface. And it all leads to this epic finale. We're talking divine showdowns, heart-wrenching choices, and Matilda has to decide if she's willing to risk her own immortality for the man she loves.
So what are the vibes? What does this book feel like? Well, you've got this intense, fiery Underrealm drama. There's this really cool magic system built around carrying messages. Of course, at the heart of it all is this dream-linked romance that's just chef's kiss. And hey, if you're a fan of her other books, keep your eyes peeled, because there are a bunch of hidden Easter eggs just for you.
Okay, hype? Check. Epic-sounding story? Double check. But let's ask the real question, the one we all care about. Is it actually any good? Let's see what the early verdict is.
And the answer seems to be a huge yes. The early reviews have it at a really solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. So, it's clearly brilliant, but maybe not perfect. Let's break down the good, the bad, and the brilliant.
Okay, on the plus side, people are raving about the world building. They're calling it beautifully immersive, with these really lush layered myths. The romance is getting a lot of love too, for being genuine and non-toxic, It's built on that deep sense of longing. And Matilda's journey, her character growth, is apparently a massive highlight. Now for the weaknesses, and they are pretty minor. Some people felt the romance, even though it's a slow burn, kind of speeds up a little too much right at the end. And yeah, the plot does use some familiar tropes you might recognize from Greek mythology.
And speaking of Matilda, let's talk about her for a second, because she is clearly a huge part of why people love this book. Check out this quote. She's the kind of heroine who doesn't just win battles. She claws her way through heartbreak and somehow keeps moving forward. That just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just about magic and gods. It's about a character's resilience, about clawing your way through grief and betrayal and still finding a way to keep going. That's the stuff that really hits you in the feels.
All right, so we've got the hype, the plot, the verdict. Now for the big finale, the ultimate question. Is this book for you? Should it jump to the top of your TBR pile? Let's figure that out.
Probably the best way to figure this out is to compare it to some other big names you might already love. So, if you are all about the godly myths and the powerful heroine in Circe, but you were left wanting a bit more romance, this is definitely for you. If you're already a fan of Divine Rivals by the same author, well, this is a no-brainer. It's a standalone prequel set in that same world. And hey, if you're a fan of the whole immortal mortal romance thing like in A Court of Thorns and Roses, this will hit a lot of the same notes, just with a focus on gods instead of the fae. Okay, and before you dive in, a little heads up for you. The emotional side of this book is intense. For real, it gets heavy into themes of grief and betrayal. Mortality is a huge theme. I mean, death is an actual character in the story. So while it's pretty low on the spice scale, we're talking maybe half a chili pepper, it's way more about the feels than anything graphic. Just be ready for it to pack a serious emotional punch. It's gonna hit you right in the heart. And there you have it, our spoiler-free look at Wild Reverence. It is absolutely shaping up to be one of the biggest books of the year, mixing that epic mythology with some really raw human emotion. So, I'm gonna leave you with a question to chew on. A goddess, a mortal, and a death sentence hanging over their heads. What's your boldest prediction? How do you think a story like this could even end?